Hey, what's up guys, John here. Former President Joe Biden has just transferred his powers to his cabinet. This is on whitehouse.gov.
President Biden has just announced that he is ending his re-election bid.
President Joe Biden has just announced that he is dropping out of the 2024 presidential race.
Everybody is talking about where Joe Biden is, what's happening with Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, the upcoming election.
A major boost for Kamala Harris, securing the support of the more than 1,976 delegates she would need to win the Democratic nomination.
Everyone's talking about where we're going as a country and what's going to happen to the U.S. economy and all of us in it. Well, I got news for you. I found some important documents and contracts that are already in stone. This is written in stone. This is going to seal the fate of America and show us clearly where all of us are headed. A lot of people think we're walking into this dreamlike scenario over the next couple months, after this election happens, that is going to bring us to a 2018, 2019 type of euphoric moment in America. We're going to have this soft landing and everything is going to be great and inflation is going to go down and the problems are going to go away. As the more you look at the facts, the more you realize the odds of that happening are basically zero. Like 0 out of a million. It looks more like we're walking into a disaster, regardless of the outcome of what we're walking into with this election. Whether you think it should be in this direction or that direction, everyone has their own opinion. I think it's better just to look at facts. You look factually where we're at, and you'll be able to make smarter, well-informed decisions for yourself and your family based on facts and data, not based on hopium. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. YouTube will share this content to educate more people about what's going on in the U.S. economy, United States of America. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself what I believe is going to be the greatest transfer of assets. And when I say transfer, I mean people are going to be forced out of these assets. Like we're walking into the greatest rug pull ever. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any issue at all in your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com, click the link in the description just below this video, schedule a free consultation for tomorrow. Take a look at this. I mean, this single tweet, 2.9 million views on just this one tweet about this transfer of powers. This is on the whitehouse.gov. I'm going to pull it down so you can see the URL, whitehouse.gov, right? And so let's look at the context here. They say that this memorandum on the delegation of certain functions and authorities under the Rebuilding Economic Prosperity and Opportunities for Ukrainians Act. Now, how much money have we given here? The big question. That's, people throw figures out. Let's look at the Council of Foreign Relations. They're saying $175 billion. Now, we live in a clown world today where people will just say 20 billion, 100 billion, you don't really think about it. Here's how much money that actually is. We have 653,000 homeless people in America, living on the streets, can't feed themselves. A lot of them really need help. They need, medical attention. Some of them need, psychiatric attention. Well, a lot of money could go there and probably help a lot of these cities and a lot of the people, right? We could essentially give every single homeless person $267,000 for the amount of money we send overseas, right? $267,000. I mean, we could solve hunger in America for $25 billion. We could have solved hunger and given every single homeless person $229,000, right? That's a lot of money, right? That is a lot of money. Now, some people think this is going to end, right? Well, let's look at this. This act that was signed in says the delegation of certain functions and authorities under the Rebuilding Economic Prosperity and Opportunity for Ukrainians Act by the authority vested in me as president, by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, including Section 301 of Title 3 United States Code, I hereby order as follows. And they list a bunch of these different codes. However, at the end it says this: the delegation in the memorandum shall apply to any provision of any future public law that are the same or substantially the same as those provisions referenced in the memorandum. The Secretary of the Treasury is authorized and directed to publish this memorandum in the Federal Register. Now, think about this. You have Kamala Harris came out June 15th, and they announced $1.5 billion for Ukraine's energy sector to address humanitarian needs and strengthen civilian security, right? Then you have many people that think Donald Trump will come in and everything will be great and this is all going to stop. Now, let's look at that. Before diving to a conclusion on that will happen or won't happen, Trump has a very interesting relationship with a money manager that you probably know of, Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock. And Larry Fink yesterday, this is the Wall Street Journal, this came out 19 hours ago, signed a $20 billion deal to restructure debt for Ukraine. And this is BlackRock right here, and PIMCO, right? Now, they're representing the interest here. Now, what's fascinating is that there's also a conversation that Jamie Dimon and Trump will be basically steering the ship, or Jamie Dimon and the CEO of BlackRock could be steering the ship with, him essentially running as Treasury Secretary. Now, some people say that's a rumor, it's a theory, it's not going to happen. Maybe, it might not happen. It might not be public to where that shows. But let's look at this. BlackRock and JP Morgan are backing, so they're basically one and the same, backing a $15 billion investment fund to rebuild Ukraine. So whether it's Jamie Dimon or whether it's somebody else, the $15 billion is already allocated, right? Then you look at this article that came out 2 days ago, and this says, according to the old cliche, opposites attract, and there being no greater example of this than the odd, interesting, and for our country beneficial relationship between Fink and Trump. Yes, you read that right, Fink and Trump. A match made in heaven? No. To be more precise, made on Wall Street with an uber globalist BlackRock chief, once serving as Trump's money manager, and the GOP populist, former president, and according to polling, likely future prez, still seeking out Fink for insights in the economy. The Post has learned, sure, Trump likes to tout JP Morgan, superbanker CEO Jamie Dimon as a possible Treasury Secretary. More later, why it ain't happening. But it's really Fink, whom he likes, respects, and speaks with. I am told the feeling is mutual. It's a relationship I explain in my upcoming book. During the Trump presidency, Fink was all in on environmental social governance investing, yet somehow he was appointed to Trump's Business Advisory Council. Seemed odd at the time until you dig a little deeper. BlackRock had handled Trump's investment portfolio for years. Trump invested in BlackRock's Obsidian Fund, described by the firm as a global mixed income multi-strategy hedge fund. When Trump invited a bunch of CEOs, including Dimon, to the White House in 2017, immediately mentioned Fink's presence. I see we have Larry here. Where is Larry? When he spotted the money manager in the crowd, Trump remarked, "Larry did a great job for me. He managed a lot of my money. I have to tell you, he got me great returns," right? We're going to be walking into the same type of scenario where this ship, we're not turning around. This ship is going. We're going to be heading into a direction in this country which is going to be more inflationary. We're going to walk into I believe, a crisis for the middle class, regardless of whether it's going to be Donald, Kamala, or anybody else. We're way too far gone for this swift and clean recovery. I mean, think about it. You got $1.3 trillion in just credit card debt, $1.7 trillion in student loans, most of which people aren't paying. You have auto loan delinquencies far eclipsing 2008. You have mortgage debt at levels in which we've never before seen. I mean, 2007, the average home value is about $225,000, $227,000. Now it's nearly twice that, yet real wages have fallen. How can any one man or any team solve this, right? I know it's a great feeling to think that, yes, someone's going to come in here and we're going to have this great type of, euphoric soft landing and everything's going to be good. I mean, that would be amazing. I would love that. So would you, I'm sure. But is that real? How would that actually happen? We're printing $1 trillion every 100 days. I don't see it happening. I don't know if BlackRock is still doing business with the Donald. Hey, BlackRock, Flack had no comment on this column. The Trump campaign didn't comment, but the relationship is still a working one, albeit quietly, I'm told by someone, firsthand knowledge in the matter, and you can understand why it's on the down low. Think as a longtime Wall Street Dem, touted as the Treasury Secretary for Dem presidents going back to Obama, his people are all over the Biden White House. He's a proud globalist, his words, right? So you think about this. Do you think we're going to see a scenario where everything's going to be, soft landing and going to be good for the middle class? Or you think it's going to be a BlackRock type of world? I'm betting that the smart move is to not bet on any one person to provide this solution to the problems that most people are going through right now. I think that it's every man, woman, and for themselves. Like I think that if you look at the world clearly for where this is all going, I mean, look at the millions of people now coming here, right? The millions of people that need food, shelter, they need jobs, right? It's going to be a race to the bottom with wages and a race to the top with just eating basic food. Everything's going to get more and more expensive, and yet real manual labor jobs are likely going to be going down at great proportions over the next couple of years. So this is something that just benefits the 1%, or I would even say the top 5%. And so if you're an ambitious, hardworking person, you got a couple of years. You make smart moves, you'll be able to protect yourself and your family forever. If you don't, and you think that this is all going back to normal, we're not going back to normal. At least that's what data is suggesting. What do you think about this entire situation? Do you think that we're going to see this perfect type of scenario, or do you think we're going to see a scenario where either it's going to be Larry or Diamond or any of these other people that are going to be, representing the Treasury, that are going to be representing their best interest and not the middle classes? Let's have a conversation about this below. I mean, remember they said inflation was transitory. They said that the last 4 years. They stopped talking about that probably last year. The same type of situation is going to be coming again. They're going to say that, all these problems are transitory. We just got to get out of this problem. We have to get out of this problem. In 3 months or 6 months, we'll get out of the problem. And that even no matter who gets, in office at that point, that's probably going to be the dialogue. And then that 3 to 6 months is going to turn to 3 to 6 years. And then it's going to turn to where people are just normalized. Right now, I think a lot of people are already normalized with a lot of the chaos. You think about all the things that happen every single day, the world gets crazier and crazier. People can't remember, the major breaking story that happened just a couple days ago, right? So this is where we're going to go. People are going to get normalized. The standard of living is going to plummet for most. The rich are going to get a lot richer. Inflation is going to get a lot worse. And it's going to be a free-for-all for acquiring assets. So if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself for funding, maybe to buy an investment property, to get business funding, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item or issue on your credit report, we'd love to help you. At my company, GreatCreditFast.com. Catch you next video.